Good morning, Grand Rising, Kings, Queens, Goddesses, and Kings, and Gods, and all you niggas, man. All y'all. So, this video is gonna get deep. It's gonna hurt a lot of people's feelings, but so many facts in it. And, if you watched my Brashear Gray video, you see that I, been saying that certain people play multiple roles and this and that. And now it's gonna show you how their identity is created through the legal way. And y'all like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and let me know what y'all think in the comments. And we about to get straight into it.
Come, taste the soup. Ray says, there's something wrong with the soup. He says, taste the soup. He says, there's something wrong with the soup. Is the soup too hot? He says, will you taste the soup? What's wrong? Is the soup too cold? Will you just taste the soup? All right, I'll taste the soup. Where's the spoon?
I'll be with you boys in a minute.
Excuse me.
Hey, it's Kunta Kinte!
What can I do with you, boy?
Can you make my hair look like this?
Hey, what you want to look like that for?
Aha! Aha!
To shed some light on how the CIA effectively pull off fictional identities. They accomplish this, in part, by using public officials in law enforcement, the military, etc. The mechanisms, as they are called, passports and state driver's licenses for people who don't exist, bills, tax documents, and other things that form the foundation of fake identities. The creation of this trail of fake existence. Fake birthplaces and home addresses have to be carefully researched, fake lives have to be created. And those existences need to have corresponding friends. Almost every individual unit that operates clandestinely, special operations, has a signature reduction section, mostly operated by small contractors, conducting due diligence. There they adhere to what they call the 6 principles of signature reduction: credibility, compatibility, realism, supportability, verity, and compliance. I say this to argue the fact that it's not hard to believe that Tupac never existed. After his metaphorical death, we're left with the character Tupac, while the real person goes to his dormant life when the signature reduction assignments cease. And you wonder why Tupac always mentioned he's military-minded.
Tupac Shakur was not his real name. This is an immediate and glaring red flag, as we have seen many famous celebrities, artists, politicians, and businessmen in the 20th century switching their names. We briefly touched on Tupac's real name, Zane Parrish Crooks. Saying even his real name is a mystery, since neither of his parents were crooks. His mother was born Alice Faye Williams, and his father was born William Garland. So where did crooks come from? We aren't told.
Here's Tupac's birth certificate. What stands out is that it was issued at the start of his career, as in Tupac the rapper was born. Note the issue date of June 6, 1990. Tupac appeared with Digital Underground January 30, 1990. If it's hard to see, here's a reference birth certificate. Maybe his mother applied for his birth certificate and received it at the start of his career. But then again, there's no such thing as coincidences.
His mother later married Gerald Wayne Williams, aka Mutulu Shakur. So she was a Williams who married a Williams?
Note that Orlando Anderson's grandmother's name was Utah Williams. Also, Tupac's mother allegedly married a man by the name of Gusty Davis. What was Orlando Anderson's mother's name? Charlotte Davis. Is it reaching to think that all of these people are related? After all, it's easier to keep a secret if it's all family.
On Genie.com, Alice's genealogy is scrubbed after her grandfather, a Reverend Walter Williams. But we get some very interesting hits on her mother's side. Alice's mother was Rosa Bell McClellan, born October 1st, 1918. McClellan isn't a very black-sounding name, is it? In fact, it probably comes from General George McClellan of the Civil War and General Samuel McClellan of the Revolutionary War. George McClellan was a close friend of the Stuarts and Hills, and the McClellans and Hills intermarried. He was called the Young Napoleon, which is a propros since he was related to Napoleon. Alice's mother, Tupac's great-grandmother, was Rosa Lee Powell. Rosa Lee Powell was the daughter of Roosevelt Powell and Millie Ann Wooten. The line is scrubbed after Roosevelt, but that name is enough to clue you in. They took out the E to throw you off, as if that would work. But we have all we need, since Roosevelt is not a typical first name, and this Roosevelt was born decades before any Roosevelt became president.
If we were to believe all of Tupac's family records, then we now know Tupac came from Roosevelt's. Take note of the name Roosevelt, it is a Jewish name. So this could also mean Tupac has come from a Jewish family, and we know Hollywood is run by Jews. Another thing that caught my attention, when we originally posted this video, the name Roosevelt Powell was listed, but after the video, they removed that name and added another by the name of Robert Powers. I wonder why. Are they hiding his Jewishness?
Seems a bit far-fetched, doesn't it? Maybe, maybe not. Let's start with the obvious. Tupac's face. Do you see it? He looks very Jewish, doesn't he? We've been conditioned not to notice Jewishness or question ethnicity in general, and because he's black, we naturally don't question it. But Tupac has all the Jewish markings: a long face, a long, slightly downturned nose, sunken eyes with long eyelashes, and big, bushy eyebrows. He doesn't just look sort of Jewish. He looks full-on Jewish. I mention that only to counter the objection that Tupac couldn't be part of the ruling crypto-Jewish families because he's black and all the crypto rulers are rich white folks from the peerage. But it only takes one generation to go from light skin to dark skin, so it's not far-fetched to claim Tupac is part of the peerage. Did you know that his fiancée at the time of his death was Jewish? That would be Kidada Jones, daughter of composer Quincy Jones and actress Peggy Lipton. You may know her sister, Rashida, of Parks and Recreation fame. That's Kidada with her parents as a young child. Her mother is best known for playing flower child Julie Barnes in ABC show The Mod Squad. Peggy's father Harold was a corporate lawyer born to Russian Jewish immigrants Max Lipschitz and Alice Goldfarb, and her mother, Rita Benson, was an artist born in Dublin, Ireland to Jewish parents Hyman Rosenberg from Russia and Jane Benson, born in Lancashire, England. We're supposed to believe Kidada was half black because of her dad, but Quincy wasn't all that black himself. Here's a picture of his mother, Sarah Frances Wells. Black? Maybe. But obviously from wealth, something you wouldn't expect of a black woman born in Vicksburg, Mississippi in 1903. That's because she's not fully black. Her grandfather was James Balance Lanier, a white man and spy for the Confederate Army. These Laniers trace back to the prominent Lanier and Bassano families of England. So Tupac's fiancée was Jewish, not just on her white mother's side, but on her black father's side as well. It also means she was related to Tennessee Williams.
Tennessee Williams, original name, Thomas Lanier Williams. Every Lanier in America is related, Tennessee Williams all of them. Jane Fonda is my cousin, I'm serious, Quincy Jones said. It goes way back to France. I didn't have a clue, I always wondered why I felt so comfortable writing European-style music, even pop music. So just like Dada Jones was Jewish, Tupac was also Jewish.
Here's a photo of Tupac's alleged grandmother, Eloise Marie Barnes Garland. She's very light-skinned, and her features are more Mediterranean or Jewish. Of course, Barnes is a name we find over 300 times in the peerage. They are related to the Oppenheims. See Jewish-Irish politician Sally Oppenheim Barnes, who was made a baroness in 1989. The lines are scrubbed after Eloise, although findagrave.com lists her father as Walter Barnes. If you search on that name, you find jazz musician Walter Barnes, born 1905. Eloise was born in 1930, so the dates match perfectly for this Walter to have been her father. He was the first black musician to play on radio in Chicago, and we read that his introduction to radio was greatly assisted by the Alphonse Capone family.
In conclusion, we have no real proof of who Tupac really was or where he came from. We're fed his story through Hollywood documentaries, Vlad TV interviews with people who took oaths. His parents are more than likely not his biological parents. They send us on a wild goose chase. All we know is he looks Jewish. No one involved will ever reveal the truth, and most are given security clearance to answer certain questions. And Tupac himself gives inconsistent and unrealistic stories. One commenter said it perfectly by saying, yes, they can keep secrets to the grave, especially when the punishment for not doing so is much greater than the reward for revealing what they know. Ask yourself, do you have secrets of anything you've done which you revealed to none? Most people will say yes. And now magnify this 100 times with punishment and penalties for non-compliance. It becomes very believable how secrets are kept.
I'm in love with Mary Jane. She's my main thing.
I'm gonna post this brother video, KCDG.
Yeah, KCDG, man, you official, homie. I like your style. KCDG. You already know.
Thanks for watching the King Tables podcast. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Think with greatness.